I'm Patrick, this is Vince, and we founded Anatomi Corp to accelerate development for neurological treatments. The nervous system is complicated. It breaks down very easily. 1 in 7 people have a condition. It's a $1 trillion problem. If you want to create something new, you have a 95% failure rate ahead of you. It takes about $4 billion to do this. Part of the problem is you're using animal models that don't quite reflect human biology. A better way to do it is to put patients in a dish. This would be more predictive and possibly reduce the failure. And you can do this now with stem cells. You can take stem cells, manufacture neurons, and that's great, but unfortunately it takes about 5 weeks to do this for every patient. If you imagine you want 9 patients in your study, it's going to take you about a year to do this. Luckily, we've created this new technology at the University of Minnesota, licensed to Anatomi Corp, that allows us to take this 35-day process, reduce it down to 7 days. This means that we can do 12 months of work in about 2 months. This will save millions over time. We're currently commercializing this as a media formulation that you can add to your stem cells that will produce neurons for people.
Anatomi Chrono Media is a premium product. Compared to competitors, we save users over 28 days in manufacturing time, results in a higher purity, and it's so easy to use, even an undergrad could use it. Our initial market is $200 million, and it's going to grow and replace the $1 billion market of primary neurons. Users of our beta version love it. They won't go back. We just received a $100,000 grant in order to start up operations and work on this full time. With another $400,000, we're able to scale sales and development to reach $3 million in revenue and profitability by year 3. Patrick and I have 15 years of stem cell experience and an MBA between the both of us. We have a rockstar team of advisors, Professor James Dutton at the Stem Cell Institute, and everyone in the newly formed Discovery Launchpad program here on campus. Thank you.
So how do you guys see, what's your path in order to reach these clients and these customers out there?
We found it most effective, and Vince can speak to this, going to research conferences.
We have been talking to customers. On one end, there's the academic customers. They're a little bit easier to get in touch with. They're not as worth as much money, but they will validate our product. The second market is the business-to-business, this contract research organizations and the pharma companies. And we're currently in discussions with one potentially worth $75,000 in annual revenue.
Is your product the media you're trying to sell, or is it the media plus the neurons and the regenerative product you're making?
So we didn't get into a lot of detail, but basically we envision multiple products, starting with just the media. People have their own stem cells, they buy our media, and then they can have this process in a bottle that allows them to make their own neurons. Moving forward, we're going to consider making our own neurons from the stem cells that we have, because there are customers out there who don't want to bother with making neurons, they just want the neurons. So if we're able to produce these neurons and ship them, that's also favorable. And then another aspect that we consider is making stem cells for people, making them the neurons, and then giving them the neurons. So that's more of a service model.
So what does your regulatory path look like?
This is all sort of research grades. There's nothing really we have to consider for that.
Thank you.